Coach Jeremy Pruitt to the 24/7 Sports Social Distance Series. Coach, I guess just first of all, how's quarantine life treating you? I know you've got a couple young kids and a newborn, so I don't know how much time you got to watch Netflix and that kind of thing. But are you hanging in there? What's it like for you right now?
I just I get up every morning and I work throughout the day, and there's probably some breaks, and during this interview you may hear some hollering and screaming, so or they may show up. But it's business as usual, just doing it from home.
Yeah, well, that's the same with me. I got a newborn coming in July, so I'm hoping we get out of this quarantine by then. I know that as coaches, you guys are so regimented and scheduled. One season's leading to the next, whether it's recruiting season, evaluation season, camp season, preseason. Here you are right now, and there's sort of an indefinite timeline as to when things reconvene and get back to normal. How are you operating under that? And is there sort of a date that you've set up for yourself to try to prepare your team for, or to try to schedule out your off season up to? What's sort of the process for you in that regard?
Well, we don't have a date. We're just, right now, we're doing the same thing that we would be doing if we were on campus. So that's this is the last week before finals. Finals are the next week. And then, our guys are working out, doing what they would normally do. Maybe they can't be in a workout facility, and so they're doing the best that they can do, and we're getting an opportunity to meet with them throughout the week.
How do you feel like that's gone in terms of the ability to keep your guys in shape? I'm sure there's varying challenges for different players with different situations, but is there a level of confidence that guys are able to get what they need to get done?
Well, it's different for all of them. They're spread out throughout the country. So some places, maybe some guys can do a little more than others, but through the process of being able to meet with them and do things, these guys we've been able to keep up with them pretty well.
This was going to be an interesting offseason for you. Last year was such an interesting year in the sense of, you started 2-5, and then you closed 6-0 to finish, and things really started turning the corner. I guess first of all, what was the difference last year in the first half and the second half? I know this is a process, and it was year 2, and things are going to improve as they go. But I'm curious if there was something that kind of flipped in that midseason point that really allowed you guys to turn the corner.
Well, to start with, we had a young football team. We were inexperienced. So we improved every week. We got better as the season went. We quit turning the ball over as much offensively, and we started getting more turnovers on defense. So I think that had as much to do with it as anything. Our kids kind of stayed the course. There was a time there that to start the season, we didn't maybe have all of our guys out there. We had some injuries in fall camp, and not to take anything away from anybody that we played, but we did get everybody healthier as the season went, and continue to improve.
I think that's kind of what makes this offseason so interesting, in the sense that, it felt like the culture, the personnel, the buy-in, it all started to click last year. And I just wonder what that's like in terms of trying to harden some of that identity this offseason, and not being able to be around the players as much. Where is your confidence level at right now, or where sort of how do you feel about the leadership, the identity of your team without that opportunity to continue to build off of the fall?
Well, we've stayed in constant contact with our players throughout the last 4 to 5 weeks, and had a great off season. We've got a lot of returning players, a lot of experience coming back. We did get to practice 2 days, so you could tell that it was the third year. It was the third spring. You could see that by just the awareness, with our players, and the the familiarity with what we want to get done. So we've had a really good off season. I have a lot of confidence in our team, and whenever we get a chance to go back, I believe in the leadership of our team and where we're headed, and I'm excited about having the opportunity to coach this team.
It felt like your recruiting class last year, I mean, first of all, that they really made an impact right away. And secondly, it just felt like it was a group that was had the kind of football character that I think you're looking for in building that program out. What is that a fair statement to say, and just sort of how the impact that group made, and sort of those being the right kind of guys that you were looking for? And if so, how do you do that? How do you dig up a group that can make that kind of an impact and have that sort of personality?
To me, the recruiting process is very unique, and it's different with every individual kid. There's so many factors that go into it. And when you're recruiting young men from all over the country, their circumstances are totally different. You got guys that might have only played 1 year of football versus somebody that's played for 10 years. You've got somebody that, you might recruit to play a certain position that they never played in high school. So there's a lot of projection that goes into it. So if you're going to be good at the evaluation process, you've got to gather as much information as possible. We have critical factors that we believe in, when it comes to each position. And there's also the intangibles that's probably just as important as the athletic ability. And I feel like our staff has done a really nice job doing that. We believe in what we do. And I feel like it showed this past season with the play on the field with some of our younger guys.
Coach, I talked to Brady Quinn for this video series, and he told a story. He still remembers playing in Neyland Stadium, and his center looked up at him before a play and basically indicated down at the ball that the ball was moving because it was so loud in the stadium. You've obviously competed against Tennessee in a number of different settings prior to your arrival as a head coach, but I'm just curious what it's been like to be able to have a chance to kind of harness the energy and the passion of that Tennessee fan base.
Well, we absolutely have that. We have passion as a fan base. You can see it every Saturday. You can hear it. You can feel it. And not only on Saturdays, it's 365 days out of the year. As I travel throughout the country, you're running into Tennessee fans all over the place, and our fan base is passionate. They're hungry. They're excited about the future of our program. And we couldn't have had the turnaround that we had last year without their support.
Well, Coach, within the SEC, there's some guys you've worked with, you've competed with. I love hearing the stories about the old basketball games, pickup games with you and Coach Saban and Kirby Smart. And I'm just curious how often you get a chance to compete with those guys off the field, whether you get a chance to play golf with them, get those pickup games anymore. Does the competition continue beyond Saturdays, or do you now just limit it to once a year?
I hope those guys are playing a whole lot of golf, because if they're playing golf, that means they're not recruiting, and that gives us a chance to maybe catch up with them. So no, I've not had an opportunity since I've came to Tennessee to do any of that. We do still have conversations at times, but it's 365 days out of year recruiting, and we've kind of our staff has bought into that, and that's something that we try to do every single day.
Great. Well, Coach, thanks a lot for taking the time, and best of luck here the rest of the way. Hope you get on the field soon.
Thank you.